So Namaskaram, and let's start with the next chapter, computation of total income and tax payable. Although we have done this particular chapter in capital gain in PGBP, but this is the place where we do it dedicatedly. Again, one more time. So this is a format that you need to follow in examination whenever you do question of computation of total income and tax payable. In part A, we do compute total income. While computing total income in answer part, we have to write these 6 data that we have to pick up from the question. Name of the assessee along with the age. Now make a practice of writing age, because you can understand now a lot of things changes depending upon the age of the assessee. Section 80D limit change, section 80DDB limits changes. Then say, basic tax exemption limit will change. So therefore you need to know the age of the assessee. Then legal status, then residential status, then AY, PY, PAN. Right now we are studying for AY 2021, PY 1920, and PAN dash. So this is how the format should look like. So far as Income Tax Act is concerned, these things you learn from section 1 to section 14. Section 1 talks about scope, extent, title, and applicability of tax. Section 2 definition, section 3 previous year, section 4 charging section, section 5 scope of total income, section 6 residential status, section 7 income deemed to be received in India, section 8 dividend income, section 9 income deemed to be accrued in India, section 10 incomes which do not form part of total income, section 11, 12, 13 exempt assessees, and section 14 heads of income. So this is what you need to understand from the basic chapter, chapter number 1. Then we started our discussion on income from salary, which is given under section 15 to 17. What is given in section 15, there should be employer-employee relationship between assessee and employer. Section 16 talks about deduction. There are 3 deduction in salary chapter: profession tax, entertainment allowance, and standard deduction of 50,000 rupees. Section 17 subsection 1 talks about income from salary. Section 17 subsection 2 talks about perquisites. Taxable perquisite, we have the 19 taxable perquisite under rule 3. Then section 17 subsection 3 talks about profits in lieu of salary, which is gratuity, leave encashment, pension. So those also we have discussed along with their exemptions. Then the next chapter is income from house property. Section 22 is the basis of charge. Charging section says there should be a house property, assessee should be owner of the house property, and such property should not be used for business and profession. Section 23 in house property here talks about computational mechanism. That format is given. Section 24 talks about deductions. There are 2 deductions under house property here. Section 24 clause A, standard deduction 30% of NAV. Section 24 clause B, interest on house properties, if it is the LOP or DLOP, no limit. If it is the SOP, maximum limit will be 30,000 or 2 lakh rupees as the case may be. Section 25 talks about if you pay interest outside India without deducting TDS, then 100% deductions will be disallowed. Section 25A of house property here talks about whenever you recover unrealized rent or arrears of rent, it will be taxable subject to 30% standard deduction. Section 26 is the co-ownership and 27 is the deemed ownership. So this is how we have finished a discussion on house property here. The next chapter is PGBP chapter, which was a very big chapter, and we took very quite longer period of time to understand the chapter. Whole chapter is recorded and uploaded for your revision purpose. So please do take the benefit of recorded lectures, because whenever you are tending to forget the section, please go back and revisit and rewatch the lectures. Your memories will come back, and keeping sections of PGBP in mind becomes little difficult because it covers many provisions. Section 20 is the charging section. Section 29 gives format to compute PGBP income. Section 30 to 37 is the deductions allowable. Section 37 2B to section 43B deduction disallowed with some special provisions. Section 44 AA and 44 AB books of accounts and tax audit. Section 44 AD presumptive income for business, ADA presumptive income for profession, AE presumptive income for transporter. So this is how we have finished PGBP chapter. Capital gain chapter is the chapter of exception, and a lot of things we have learned in chapter capital gain as well. There should be a capital asset, and capital asset should get transferred. The transfer should take place in the previous year. There are 4 exceptions to this rule. CCDS, conversion of capital asset into capital, conversion of capital asset into stock in trade. then compulsory acquisition of capital asset, destruction of capital asset, and specified agreement. Then we have learned certain special provisions of cost of acquisition in capital gain chapter, special provisions of full value of consideration, special series of exemption, and then we have learned section 111A, 112A, short-term capital gain in share market and long-term capital gain in share market, and then overall computation of tax of capital gain. Then income from other sources. In income from other sources, section 56 is the charging section, 57 is the deduction allowed, 58 is the deduction disallowed, and 59 is the deemed to be income under section under how this IFOS head. Majorly, we have discussed their taxation of gift and taxation of dividend. Section 60 to 65, clubbing of income of a minor child, clubbing of income of spouse, clubbing of income of daughter-in-law, clubbing of income of the HUF. So those are the clubbing of income. We have also learned aggregation of income in while doing PGBP chapter, section 68 to 69, the one-page chapter, but anti-black money section. And recently we have finished this particular chapter, set off and carry forward of losses, which ranges from section 70 to 80. So if you give effect of provisions up to this particular chapter, up to section 80 from section 1, then you will reach something called GTI, gross total income. And from gross total income, we do subtract all chapter 6A deductions. Okay, all chapter 6A deductions. And all chapter 6A deductions are given in section 80C to 80U. But chapter 6A deduction can be subtracted only against normal income, and not against special income. Do you understand this particular point? Please tell me yes or no about this point. Chapter 6A deduction can be subtracted only against normal income and not special income. Do you understand this sentence? Hello guys, you there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this sentence is very important, and we had done one illustration 17 from ICA material where the guy had won the lottery, and we have seen we have not subtracted income GTI against this particular lottery income. So please do understand that. Then you'll get a total income, and total income will be rounded off under section 288A, okay, in the multiple of 10 rupees. Next. Part B of the particular chapter talks about computation of tax liability. While computing tax liability, you need to keep this in mind. There are two types of income, special income and normal income. Special income will always attract tax under special rates of tax, which are given in Income Tax Act, such as short-term capital gain, long-term capital gain, casual income, aggregation of income, dividend exceeding 10 lakh rupees. So there are some special rates of tax in these sections. Then we are having tax on normal income because your syllabus is focused on individual and HUF. So basically you are going to apply the slab rate. So up to 2.5 lakh, near 2.5 lakh to 5 lakh 5%, 5 lakh to 10 lakh 20%, about 10 lakh 30%. And if depending upon age and the residential status of the assessee, you know when to vary this particular slab. You will get income tax after following this particular stages, and in income tax we need to add surcharge. Now, when do we add surcharge in case of individual? If you ask me, then I'll tell up to 50 lakh of total income, there is no surcharge. 50 lakh to 1 crore, there is 10% surcharge. 1 crore to 2 crore, there is a 15% surcharge. 2 crore to 5 crore, there is a 25% surcharge. And above 5 crore, there is a 37% surcharge. This will be added. This will be added only for rich people who are earning a very good amount of income in India. And people who are not even earning 5 lakh rupees or less than 5 lakh rupees will claim a rebate under section 87A. Okay, and this rebate is up to 12,500 rupees or tax liability, whichever is lower. This will be the net tax. Okay, and in net tax we have to give the effect of health and education says. After providing health and education says effect, this will be your gross tax liability, and from this gross tax liability we do subtract TDS, which is tax deducted at source, which is section 190 to section 206 AA, TCS, which is there in section 206C, advance tax, which is there in section 207 to 219, okay, and then we will get net assessment tax, net self-assessment tax, and this self-assessment tax liability will be paid under section 140A, and if this amount becomes negative amount, then that will be the refund which will be granted by government to you. And if they delay the refund, then they will give the 0.5% interest per month. Annually, it is 6%. This final amount is also needed to be rounded off under section 288V in the multiple of 10 rupees. This you already know from your basic chapter. After doing all this calculation, we need to submit our information with income tax department, and there has to be some prescribed form, some date through which we have to furnish this particular information with income tax department, that is given under section 139 and section 140, filing of return and verification of return. So these are the procedural aspect. After looking at the return, you need to put one more hashtag here. After looking at return, if income tax departments, they have some suspicious about your information, if they are not satisfied with the information provided by you, then they will start assessment. They will open your case for assessment, that is known as the assessment procedure. And assessment procedures are given under section 141. It starts at 141 and it ends on somewhere around 160. It starts at 141 and it ends at 160, but you don't have all those sections in your syllabus because this is just intermediate. CMA final and CA final will be focused on assessment procedure. So assessment procedure under section 141 to 160, please add this point in your notes. Assessment procedure given under section 141 to 160. Okay, now I have to teach, I started this lecture to teach alternate minimum tax. What is alternate minimum tax? So please understand one small story before that. Okay. So what is AMT? Okay. So let me create a new page. Hello. To understand AMT, you need to understand background chapter, which is not there in your syllabus. So AMT has emerged out of concept of MAT. There is a concept of MAT, minimum alternative tax. So I'll just give you a small introduction about MAT, which is not there in your syllabus. But through MAT, you need to understand something about AMT. What is to happen about these big organizations in India? So there are big organizations, and one of the big organizations is RIL, Reliance Industries Limited. There are many like this, but let's take RIL because you are quite comfortable with this particular name, Reliance. Okay. So RIL, according to you, what do you think? Is a profitable company or loss-making company? And if it is a profitable, a huge profit or normal profit? Tell me. What do you think? RIL.
Profitable company.
Normal profit?
Huge profitable.
RIL is a normal profitable company or huge profitable company?
Huge profitable company.
Obviously, huge. Yes, obviously huge. So let's take RIL has a reported net profit of 10,000 crore. Okay, just an example. Net profit of 10,000 crore. Do you know how much tax they are going to pay? Can you imagine the tax amount that they are going to pay? Net profit 10,000 crore, and company, this type of companies are under 30% tax bracket in India. So books profit which is reported to shareholder is 10,000 crore. 30% is the tax rate. What do you think? What should be the amount of tax? Hello. What should be amount of tax? Tell me.
3,000 crore.
3,000 crore, but they will pay nil. They will pay nil. Zero tax. Sir, how that is possible? This is possible because of lot of sections. But let me take one section that you know for sure. Say for example, this is GTI of RIL. GTI is 10,000 crore. Okay, GTI gross total income is 10,000 crore, and this 10,000 crore they have earned from sales unit. This GTI they have earned from the sales unit, so total comes to 10,000 crore. Now sales units are given special exemptions or deduction under Income Tax Act under section 10AA. Do you remember this section 10AA? 100% of export profit will be deducted for first 5 years, then 50%, and then 50% or amount deposited in say the reinvestment reserve account. Do you remember this? Do you remember
Yes.
section 10AA? Yes. So your taxable income because of section 10AA will be your taxable income because of, it will not even form in GTI. Let me remodify the section 10AA. 10,000 crore will be subtracted here and your GTI will become nil. This is one option. If not because of 10AA, if it because of some other section, ATIA, IB, IC, ID, IAB, is because of other section, then what will happen? A particular infrastructure business, they have earned 10,000 crore. Okay, this income will form part of GTI, 10,000 crore. Okay, and from that they will subtract under section ATIA or that series. Okay, 10,000 crore, and here the tax liability will be nil because the profit is nil. Now this type of sections, okay, you have also learned section 35 AD from me. What is section 35 AD? What is section 35 AD?
Additional.
Specified business, where we give capital expenditure ka 100% deduction. Okay, so there are certain extraordinary beneficial sections in income tax. You can see those sections here, and by using this section, Reliance was showing very less or almost nil taxable income to income tax department, because income tax doesn't take tax on books of account. Income tax take tax on return of income, that ITR copy that you file. So this problem was there. Now to handle this problem, to overcome this particular situation in India, if big corporates of India doesn't pay tax, then you can understand the burden of tax will be on the normal citizen like you and me. And therefore government had figured out something should be done to bring them into tax bracket. And someone have suggested that time that let's bring MAT in India. Now this was a fight between finance ministry versus Reliance kind of corporates. So this is a fight between Reliance or finance ministry, or you can say finance minister and corporates of India. So this was a war between government and corporates. So when they declare MAT, what is a MAT? MAT is a separate tax law. It's not Income Tax Act, though it is given in Income Tax Act 115 JB. The section of MAT is 115 JB of Income Tax Act, and the rate of MAT is 18.5%. Please try to understand. Okay, this is a completely separate law. This is not ordinary income tax. What they are saying in 115 GB is this. Okay, sir, you have to compute this particular profit here by applying normal rate of tax, but you must also compute profit by applying MAT rate on your book profit, MAT rate on your book profit, net profit figure. We must apply this there and compute the taxable income. So every company assessee in India, this was applicable only to company assessee because the war was between finance minister and corporates. So every company assessee in India must compute this. Please understand, must compute this tax as per normal provision. As per normal provision, because my taxable income is nil into 30%, my tax liability will be nil or negligible. Okay. Secondly, you can also compute tax on MAT. They have to compute MAT. How do we compute MAT? Under section 115 JB. How do we compute MAT? So 10,000 crore into 18.5%. I'm ignoring surcharge and cess and all that, you know how to add. I'm just trying to focus on the basic numbers. So 10,000 crore into 18.5%, 1850, and assessee is liable to pay whichever is higher. 1850. Assessee is liable to pay whichever is higher. Now please understand, this is what happened, and they thought, finance ministry thought, now Reliance is gone, because earlier they were taking extraordinary advantage of this particular section. Now Reliance cannot take advantage of those section. Why? Because Reliance cannot declare lower profit. It will, repute their name in the share market and all. They can't show less amount of profit to their shareholders, bankers and other investors. So for sure they are going to declare more profit. But you tell me, logically, is it right? You just use your logic and you tell me, should we charge income tax on taxable income Should we charge income tax on taxable income, option number 1, or book profit? You tell me. We should charge income tax on what? What should we do? Should we charge tax on taxable income? Option number 1, or option number 2, book profit? What should we do? What is the right way of doing taxation? Fair method of computing taxation. Who had given benefit of 80IA? Income tax. Who had given benefit of 10AA? Income tax. And assessors who had given benefit of 35AD? Income tax. If department had given this particular benefit, they have created this provision in income tax. Assessor has taken those provision to reduce his tax, and now department is feeling नहीं इतना तो बहुत ज़्यादा tax बचा लिया तुमने. You have saved too much of tax from this particular section. How is possible? Now we want some tax on your book profit. Is it fair or unfair with the industry? You tell me by using your business mind. Fair or unfair? Bringing this kind of chapter is fair or unfair?
Unfair.
Obviously unfair, and this is what industry has raised. This is not done, sir. This is not acceptable. Why? You need to take tax on taxable income, but you are taking tax on book profit, and you are computing both, and you are taking which is higher. So sir, 1 year, what will happen? In 1 year, say for example, my book profit, here the tax amount is 100 lakh. Okay. And here the tax amount is 2000. 100 crore and 2000 crore. Chalo. 100 crore and 2000 crore. Whichever is higher I will pay. So 2000 crore I have to pay. Whereas as per normal provision of income tax, I was supposed to pay only 100 crore. Only 100 crore. But department is taking 2000 crore from me. Now look at the ministry's reply. No, you don't understand. You are supposed to pay only 100 crore only. We are not taking 2000 crore. No, we are taking, but we are not taking. So people say we don't understand what it is. They said your liability is 100 crore only, sir. But for time being you pay 2000 crore, okay, and balance how much extra you paid. You tell me how much extra you paid. Your liability was 100 crore. You paid 2000 because of MAT. You tell me how much extra you paid. So the ministry said 1900 crore. If 1900 crore you have paid extra, it will be allowed as a MAT credit. It will be allowed as a MAT credit, and MAT credit you can set off in the future year. MAT credit you can set off in the future year, because what happens in this particular method, please understand what happens here. Look at the gain, okay, or I will make new P&L account only. What happens here is this, okay, they are saying, see, look at here, year 1, your books of accounts. Here you are taking depreciation effect, okay, depreciation effect. And in this P&L account, you are taking year 1 only, but tax. This is tax P&L. Here you are taking depreciation maybe at 15%. Okay. And because of section 35AD, here you are taking 100% benefit. Do you understand this? Do you understand year 1? Here I am taking only 15% benefit. And here in tax, because of section 35AD, I am taking 100% benefit. Do you understand this much at least?
Yes.
In future, what will happen? In year 2, what will happen now? Year 2, what will happen? In ministry saying, here still there will be depreciation, no? Year 2, there will be depreciation, but year 2, there won't be any deduction in respect of that asset in year 2. Hello, are you getting this? Year 2?
Yes.
So what will happen in the future? They are saying currently you are not paying tax here. You are not paying tax here because you are getting more benefit from us. Okay. So you pay tax on book profit. In future, what will happen? This profit will be more. Why this profit will be more? Because there won't be any deduction on this side. And because there is no deduction or less amount of deduction, in future, you will have tax profit greater than your book profit. In future, your tax profit will be greater than book profit, and therefore your tax liability will be greater than book profit liability, because here we are applying 30% and here we are applying 18.5%. So almost half. No, okay na? So are you getting what ministry is saying? Sir, right now you have paid 1,900 crore extra. We will give you this as a credit in future, somehow in future, maybe in year 5 or year 6. Okay, year 5 or year 6, what will happen, sir? Year 5, year 6, somewhere in year 5, somewhere it will happen. Here it will be 3,000 crore, and here it will be 2,000 crore, or we will take here 1,000 crore. To be very precise, let's take here 1,000 crore. Now look at how much, whichever is higher. So what will I have to pay? 3,000 crore. But the ministry will say, no, 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 no. Don't pay 3,000 crore. Don't pay 3,000 crore. How much credit you are having? 1,900. Okay, you subtract 1,900 and pay only 1,100 crore. Are you getting this?
Yes.
आगे जाके मैट सेट ऑफ होता है, because sometime in future your tax on normal income will be greater than book profit. This is their assumption, and therefore MAT credit. This, sir, what if I'm not able to set off in 5 year, then 6 year? What if I'm not able to set off in 6th year, then 8 year, 9th year, 10th year? Earlier maximum 10-year life which was given to MAT credit. Now because some organization are not able to reverse the situation, even within 10 years, the life of MAT credit has increased to 15 years. Okay, this is what ministry has done with the company. This is what ministry has done with the company. Now please understand, I have no intention to teach you MAT. MAT is a very complicated chapter itself, and that too, they're not there in your syllabus. I'm just giving you background of MAT. Why, sir? Because MAT was applicable to company. MAT was applicable to company. Almost 8 to 10 years, big corporates of India have not paid MAT. They have not paid MAT. They are very smart. They found a way, every year, innovative way to evade MAT as well. They were already doing a lot of manipulation in normal tax. Now they got ways of evading MAT as well. And every year MAT got amended. Every year MAT got amended. Please understand, right now there are almost 19 adjustments that you need to do when you are doing MAT. Earlier we had no adjustment in MAT. No adjustment means literally no adjustment. 1 or 2 might be there, but literally no adjustment. Right now we have to provide almost 19 adjustment to compute book profit in MAT, because people evaded. So after, people means industry like Reliance, okay, they evaded even MAT. So this was a war between corporate and ministry, and ultimately after so many amendments in MAT, MAT became so complex that it is very difficult now to evade a tax under the MAT. And therefore corporates in India like Reliance, they shifted their business from company to LLP structure. They started converting their company into LLP. Can you tell me why? Many corporates in India, they started converting their business from company to LLP. Why? Hello? To evade MAT. Why? How to evade MAT? Finally, after doing all accounting adjustment, okay, MAT was applicable only on company. Only on company. Therefore, they had, this big organization, they are having small entities called subsidiaries and all. So they started converting their subsidiary companies, small companies, into LLP, because MAT is applicable only to company and not to LLP. Therefore, after few years of knowing this and doing research, finance ministry came to know, oh my God, these people have started doing business in the name of LLP. Therefore, they brought another tax, third tax in income tax. So normal income tax, MAT, were already there. They brought a third new tax in income tax, which is known as AMT now. Okay. Alternate minimum tax. What was the MAT? Minimum alternate tax. What is AMT? Alternate minimum tax, which became applicable to LLP. After making it applicable to LLP, these firms, they converted their LLP into partnership firms. So you understood this? Originally MAT was there on company, and then AMT they brought on LLP. Now these companies, they started converting their LLPs into partnership firm. Now what will you bring? Already you have used this later, no? Minimum alternative tax, alternative minimum tax. Now the weight was tax minimum alternate. No, you cannot do this. Okay, and therefore they said, no, no, MAT is applicable to company and AMT is applicable to any other assessee. Originally, it was applicable only to LLP, but right now AMT is applicable to any other assessee than company. So this is one of the provision. Okay, any other assessee other than company. So this is one of the provision that you need to know for AMT. Why AMT is not applicable to company? Why is it not applicable to company? Can you tell me? It's not applicable to company. Why? AMT is not applicable to company. Why?
Because MAT is applicable
MAT
to
is applicable
company.
to company. That was the only sentence I was expecting from you guys. Okay, MAT is applicable to company, therefore AMT is not applicable to company, and AMT has emerged out of the concepts of MAT. Okay, so right now also there are a lot of assessees in India who are taking benefit of 80 IA series provision. Okay, who are taking benefit of 35 AD, who are taking benefit of 10 AA. So these assessees are only concerned about AMT application. Why? Because for assessee like me, who is not enjoying this special benefit of income tax, my taxable profit as per books of account and my taxable profit as per ROI will almost be same. This will be same or similar. There won't be much difference. But person who is taking benefit of this section will have difference. So when I say it is applicable to all assessee, you need to understand all means people who are taking profit link deduction in income tax. Only those people will be subjected to provisions of AMT. Sir, what if, but this is unfair? No, sir. Yes, this is unfair. And therefore, whenever you pay AMT, you will get credit. You will get credit. And that credit you can set off when your normal tax liability is higher than AMT liability. And if you cannot set off, you can carry forward that credit for 15 years. So let's have a quick look on the notes that we are supposed to write right now, or listen first of all. AMT alternative minimum tax, these are the provisions given in chapter number 12 BA of Income Tax Act. So it is applicable to whom? Any person other than company, any person other than company, and they should have claim deduction. They should have claim deduction, and who has claim deduction under, they should have claim deduction under heading C. They should have claim deduction. ऐसा होना चाहिए था ना? This sentence is wrong. Okay. Any person other than company and who has claim deduction under heading C under chapter 6, that is 80 IA, IB, IBA, IAC series. Okay. And section 10 AA and section 35 AD. So special provisions of this income tax. Okay. Profit link deduction. Condition: form LLP, for form an LLP, it is applicable without any limit. For form an LLP, it is applicable without any limit. Matlab by default, every firm and every LLP must compute alternate minimum tax every year. For any other assessee,
काय झालं?
कोणतरी होत झालं वाटतं.
अरे नेट लूज हो गया था, नेट लूज हो गया था. ठीक है, सुनो सुनो. कंडीशन: फर्म LLP, it is applicable without any condition for individual AOP, BY, AGP. मेरे जैसे छोटे लोगों के लिए, for people like me, AMT is applicable only if my total income exceeds 20 lakh. My total income exceeds 20 lakh. Then only you need to think about AMT. Otherwise, don't think about AMT. But this 20 lakh limit is not applicable to firm and LLP. So please understand, firm and LLP are subject to MAT without any limit. Other assessees are subject to MAT only if their total income exceeds 20 lakh. And this is one of the famous multiple choice question that you can expect in examination. Okay. What is the rate? Rate I told you 18.5% plus surcharge and education cess as applicable. Tax as per normal provision we will compute. So we will compute tax as per AMT, we will compute tax as per normal provision, and finally tax payable in the current year will be AMT under section 115 JC कोई नहीं, ठीक है ना? AMT JC, please understand, MAT was